Hello again, everyone. I'm back. Hi, Belen. How are you? Let's see. Hello again, Adam. Hello, Sarah and Aya. Hello, Cyril. Hello, Yadong. Hello, Lilith. And Vivi and Mana. Hello, Noradine, my friend. Hello, Shakira and Kate and Polaris. Hello, Goblin King and Yuki and Yang Yang. Error. Hello, Error. Hello, Ali Reza and Johanna. And Abdo and Victor. Hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to my second live stream today, everybody. This is A Friend in Every Corner. And on this live stream, I just like to talk to people and try to make friends, but I will also try to help you with your English questions, if you have some. Well then, Belen, cheers. How is everyone today? So if you guys missed my last live stream, that was a good one. It was a good one for a few reasons, but one reason why last live stream was a really good one was because one of my followers helped me to prove my point about my teaching methods and why you don't need to take lessons from me for 2 years. Maybe you only need 2 lessons from me. So if you get lessons with me, yeah, it's expensive. But you're only going to pay for 2. Or 4, maybe. Okay? So it's not quite the same thing. All right? Could you share a philosophy from Seneca? Sure, I like Seneca. What would you like to share from Seneca? I like Stoic philosophy. Who I am? Well, I don't know what to tell you who I am. The signal should be clear. Well, that's nice. Yeah, the love you give in life keeps people alive beyond their time. Anyone who has given love will always live on in another's heart. Very good philosophy indeed. Yolanda says, hello, Mark. How to describe different types of food? I don't know how to translate them correctly. Yeah, Yolanda, this is a big deal. For Chinese people, this is a big deal because many Chinese foods are a little bit difficult to translate into English directly. You definitely can't translate some of them directly. And it's also a really good exercise to learn how to talk about food in English, because the way Americans talk about food in English is very different than the way most Chinese people talk about food in Chinese. Okay? Most people in Chinese, when they talk about food, it's very simple. They'll say that they ate pork and rice and vegetables, or maybe they'll say meat and rice and vegetables, but that's how they describe what they ate. But Americans will say we had roasted pork and steamed vegetables and white rice or something like that. Okay, we'll describe it a little bit more. So, Yolanda, it's good to practice talking about food. And one thing that you can do, Yolanda, that's kind of useful is just do a search online for menus. Menus from different restaurants, right, in America. You can look at any restaurant in America and just look at the menu and then read the description of the food just to see what it is. Recipes are also a good way to learn how to talk about food in English. So if you maybe you like hamburgers, or you like steak, or you like American meatloaf or something, look at the recipes for it, and the recipes will talk about that food, so you can see how they talk about that food. Okay? So menus and recipes are two great places to go to learn about how to talk about food in English. I did record. Thank you, Adam. So, well, there was one question. That was a good question to start the stream. Does anyone else have any other questions? Anyone? Bueller? How can I prepare for the IELTS speaking test? Jackie wants to know. Jackie, my suggestion would be, I think I remember there's a really good website. First of all, let me find that for you. So the British Council has a free online speaking test for the IELTS practice test. And here's another good one. So what you can do is go to these sites. Okay, take the IELTS test and the British Council, and then also this My Best Test page, and they have speaking practice questions, right? So questions like, what is your country famous for? Okay, you have to learn how to practice to talk about these things, right? Where do you live in your country? What is the climate of your country? What's your favorite kind of weather? Or have you ever worked before? What's your typical day like at work? Okay, those kinds of things. Yeah, Adam is my Jiminy Cricket. Ive wants to know, what does the word excusitis mean? What that means is someone is making a joke, or they're making a point of saying that if you make too many excuses all the time, if you're always making excuses about something, why you're late or why you didn't have your homework or something, then you have excusitis. Sitis, S-I-T-I-S, is those are the letters that often come at the end of certain kinds of sicknesses. Okay, so those are like medical words, medical letters that mean a sickness of some kind, a disease. Okay, so if you say you have excusitis, then that means that you make excuses too much. They're saying you have a disease of excuses. Okay? Ryder, yes, I know I haven't uploaded anything to YouTube in a while. I'm sorry, I've been busy. I will try to get some more. I will try. Hello, Samia. Thank you, John Young. Should I remember the question? You mean when they ask you? Well, then, yeah. Should you remember the answers? Oh, no, Jackie, you can't memorize things. No, you need to just practice feeling comfortable answering questions about yourself or the topics of the IELTS. So, no, you can't memorize them. No, just practice getting more comfortable doing them. Okay? No one sounds good playing the trumpet the first time. You can't sound good until you practice many, 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 many times. So, you are practicing the trumpet. You need to say these things many, many, many times before they will sound good. Okay? How do you share this room? I see somebody shared. Well, that's a good question. I think there should be a button. If you click on the 3 dots, I think you should be able to share, Yolanda. But you also can do this. If you want to share my profile, everyone, you can take a screenshot, take a picture. That's my QR code. So if you take a picture, then you can give this QR code to anyone, or you can make a post about it. You can say, hey, this guy has great live streams, or he's a really weird guy. Okay? Hello, Carla. Carla, where are you from? I don't recognize that flag. It's too small. I can't see it that well. Hello, Shema. Thank you, Ines. Kim Bop says, when I talk with a native speaker, sometimes I don't understand and then I pretend to understand. Kim Bop, sometimes when I talk with a native speaker, I don't understand and I pretend to understand. So don't worry about it. Actually, Kim Bop, I think that pretending to understand is part of learning a language, right? So every time I speak Chinese, when I hear other people reply to me, sometimes I understand 60% of what they say. Sometimes I understand 90% of what they say. Sometimes I understand 100% of what they say. But if I only understand 60% of what they say, but I think I know enough, if I think I understood enough to know their meaning, then yes, I pretend I understand the rest of it. Okay? But it's never, I don't think you should be afraid to ask. Okay? Don't be afraid to ask, like, did you mean this or did you mean that? Okay? Prince says, I'm a good listener, but when I speak, I'm thinking of a lot of my words. Could you give me advice? Prince, when you say you're thinking a lot about your words, do you mean you're thinking about your words in Arabic and then translating into English? Hello, Sergio from Colombia. Thank you, Hachi. Ah, Madagascar. I always forget that flag, Carla. Thank you, Lan Anyen. Hello again, Laura. Namaste, Anu. Yeah, when you're learning a new language, sometimes you do a lot of this. Okay? But if they're speaking too fast, then say, I'm sorry, could you speak a little bit more slowly? Or I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Can you repeat it, please? Okay? Thank you, Ryder. Can I give personal lessons? Carla, I do give personal lessons, but my lessons are not cheap. But the reason why my lessons are not cheap is because most people don't study long with me. They take one lesson with me, or maybe 4 lessons with me, but that's all. Okay, so yes, you can take private lessons with me. If you go to my profile, you can find all the information about private lessons there. Okay? But like I said, I'm a coach, not a teacher anymore. Okay? So I don't teach people every week. I have a few, but not many. Now, the best way I can help you is as a coach. So you will hire me for 4 lessons only. I will tell you what you need to do to fix your language, and then you have to go do it. I'm not going to hold your hand. I will tell you what you need, and then you have to do it. I would yell at you for not following my tips. What tips are you not following, Bellin? I'm going to shake my finger at you. How can you know if a vocabulary is formal or informal? Jackie, for you, in most cases, you might need to look. Okay, in many cases, you might need to look it up in the dictionary. Is this word a formal word or is it an informal word? But in many cases, I think you can learn which words are formal and which words are informal just from practice, from hearing them. Okay, you'll see somebody use the more common word and then somebody use the more academic word. All right, so most of it just comes from practice, Jackie, but you can look those things up in the dictionary too. Mifar says, how to overcome fear? I have a fear of public speaking. Mifar, learning how to speak in public is just like learning how to swim. Many people are very afraid of swimming when they first start, but there's no good reason to be afraid of swimming, right? The water is not deep. You're not going to drown. There are no sharks. There are people there to help you, right? But people are afraid to swim, okay? However, if you want to learn how to swim, you must jump in the water. You must jump in the water. So, speaking a language, every time you're afraid to speak, jump in the water, my friend. It's just water. Your fear of speaking is no different than people being afraid to swim. Okay? There's no good reason for you to be afraid. All right? The worst thing that can happen is you say the wrong thing. And guess what? 99.9% of the time in life, if you say the wrong thing, doesn't matter. It's okay. You can say, oops. Let me teach you a great word. Oops. Learn that word. That word will give you the confidence to speak whenever you want to. Because if you make a mistake, you can just say, oops. All right? Oops just means I made a mistake. All right? No problem. No big deal. All right? So, you must jump in the water. You must jump in the water. Leanne, I don't do broadcasts here every day, but I am here a lot. For right now, I'm here 5 days a week. I've decided to stay on here 5 days a week until I hit 50,000 followers, which will be soon. I have 48,000 followers right now. So, my schedule will change once I hit 50,000. But for right now, I'm here for 5 days a week. All right? You're welcome, Kimbap. Guten Tag, Gunter. Without rain again. We have rain, finally, Gunter. Laura, why do people only take a few lessons? Laura, because you don't need many lessons from me. I give you the tools to teach yourself. So my point is to be a coach for you, right? So what I will do is I will find out what your learning goals are. I will find out what your weaknesses and what your strengths are, and then I will give you personal advice about how you can fix your problems and develop a plan to learn language. Okay? So, people only take a few lessons from me because people only need a few lessons from me. All right? Yes, Prince, you cannot think in Arabic and then speak in English. If you're thinking in Arabic, then you're speaking in Arabic. Okay? If you're thinking in your native language, you're not speaking English. You need to use the language in your mind. Okay? Mateo, I have about 48,000 fans. Followers, whatever you want to call them. Sergio, you say if you want to... How could I say if I want to get to fall in love with a woman? What? Any phrasal verbs for falling in love with a woman? Sure. Let's see. Well, the most obvious one is I am falling for you. I am falling for you means it's to fall for someone. It's a phrasal verb, means that you are falling in love with them. Okay, so if you just say I'm falling for you, that means I'm falling in love with you. Okay? You could say... you could say we hit it off. To hit it off. But hit it off doesn't necessarily mean love. It just means any friendship. So if you meet someone and you become very close very quickly, then you can say, we really hit it off. That could be a friendship or it could be a love interest. Okay? Is it usual to say the Leon is on the move or the devil is on the loose? I don't know about the first one, Gunter. The devil is on the loose? I know what that means, but I've never heard it said. I've never heard either of those said before. Thank you, Fahima. You like this background behind me? Well, it's not a background, Taha. That's real. I'm not using AI. That's real. What will happen after you reach 50,000 followers, Laura? I don't know. Maybe I will explode. I don't know. It's just a number. I'm just trying to hit that number. I have a goal. I want to hit 100,000 followers by the end of the year. If I hit 50,000 in the next couple weeks, then I'm on my I'm on track to meet my goal. Enis, you want to ask me a few questions about studying with me? Okay, Enis, you can send me an email. Send me an email at AFIEC English at gmail.com. And we can talk about lessons. But again, I'm a coach. I'm a consultant. The best thing that I can do for you is give you maybe just one lesson. Might be all you need from me. Sam Parker, it's not head over hill, but you're close, Sam. It's I am head over heels for you. That is a good one. That's an idiom, not a phrasal verb. But yes, a good idiom for falling in love is I am head over heels for you. So that means that you're so in love with someone that it's like your body is turned upside down. Okay? Yuri says, how can I increase my vocabulary? Yuri, there are many, many ways to increase your vocabulary. One is by topic. So you can choose topics like sports, or music, or finance, or hobbies, activities, interests, or work, family, friends, past, present, future. Write down topics and then look up, find all the words that have to do with that topic. Write them down. Make a list of words about one topic, and then another topic, and another topic. That's one way, okay? Another way to increase your vocabulary is to learn the art of etymology. Etymology means the origin or history of words. And if you learn the etymology of words, it can be really useful for your vocabulary building. Okay? And there are other ways to increase your vocabulary too. But Yuri, here's the most important part about increasing your vocabulary. Listen, everybody. If you're trying to learn English vocabulary, you must have a system. You cannot learn English vocabulary with just random words. No, can't do it. You have to have a system. Okay? Yuri, I also think you should get this. Thesaurus.com. A thesaurus is a great way to increase your vocabulary. A thesaurus is like a dictionary, but it's a dictionary of synonyms. Okay? All right. How do you use the word bragging? Boogie, the word bragging. To brag means to talk about something that you did or that you have, but you're trying to show off. You're trying to show everybody that you are better. You're showing everybody you're better than they are because look what I have. I have this awesome car and it's better than your car. And I did, you only got a 75 on your test. Well, I got a 95 on my test. So bragging means talking about things by trying to tell people that you're better than they are because of what you have or what you did. Okay? Hello, Satoru. The lion is on the move. The lion is on the move. Oh, well, that makes sense. Yeah, okay, yeah, from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Good book. In this case, on the move just means moving. Yeah. And in this case, they're talking about the character, the lion, right? So, yeah, on the move just means moving. Okay, Gunter? If you say I'm on the move, means I'm in the process of going somewhere. I'm moving. I'm on my way. What does the phrasal verb win over mean? To win over someone means to win over their confidence. Okay, to win their confidence is to win over someone, Sergio. So if I say, I really won my teacher over, that means that maybe it's a new teacher and you did something or you impressed them somehow, and now they really like you. So if you do something that impresses someone or makes someone really like you, then now you have won them over. It means that now they like you. You've won their confidence. You've won their affection. Okay? Ines, I don't usually teach anyone every day, but it's very, very simple. It comes down to one very simple thing. Money. Okay, Ines? I mean, I'm sorry, but it's my job. Teaching is my job. But for some reason, everyone thinks that I should teach for free. I don't teach for free. I don't teach for free. Except for right now. If you want free teaching, this is the only way you will get it free from me. I will not teach anyone privately for free. It's my job. Laura, I do accept barter, actually. I like bartering. So, Laura, message me. If you want a lesson, we can barter. Why do I know some words when I see them, but when I hear others, but I can't react when I hear others say them? That's because, Xiao that's because you don't know those words well enough. Okay? So, if you see me walking down the street, just walking, you might not remember me. If you see me walking down the street and I wave to you, you might not remember me. If you see me walking down the street and I wave to you and I say hello, you might remember me. If you see me walking down the street and I wave to you, say hello, and we have a conversation, you will remember me. So, what is my point? If you're forgetting words, it's very simple. Why? The reason why is because you haven't spent enough time with them. Just like people, if you don't spend time with people, you won't remember them. If you don't spend time with words, you won't remember them. Get to know your friends, the words. Okay? You're welcome, Yuri. You're welcome, Boogie. Mateo says absolutely everybody is for money. Well, no, not everybody. Mateo, I have been teaching online here for free for more than a year and a half. And I haven't made any money. And I've spent a lot of money. But, so I am doing this for free. That means I'm not about money all the time. But you can't expect me to just spend my whole life helping people without getting paid at all. Right? Mateo, my classes are $50 for 50 minutes. Thank you, Boogie. If you wanted to study for 1 month, 2 hours every day, Ines, message me and we'll talk, okay? Message me and we'll talk, Ines, okay? I don't think I have 2 hours I could give you every day. I don't even have that in my schedule. Why can native speakers like me understand some people who don't speak clearly? Ryder, there are not many native speakers like me because my job is talking to people that don't speak English well. So I have talked to thousands of people who are non-native speakers. So of course, I am better at it than most people. Okay, I can understand most people when they speak English, even if their English is really poor. Okay? Hello, Mooney. Mateo, I know you're new here, but I appreciate your suggestions. But all of those things are being worked on. I'm writing a book right now. I don't have a book yet, but I'm writing one, and I'm working on some other things too. So I'm working on all that, my friend. Thank you. Karen says, I'm here for making a lot of money. What's the right word for the opposite of that? That kind of depends on what you're doing, Karen, but you could say something as simple as, I am here for selfless reasons. Selfless means that you are trying to help other people, not yourself. Okay? If you say I'm here for selfish reasons, selfish means me, 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 me. It's all for me. Selfless means you, 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 you. I'm trying to help everyone else. Okay? So you could say that. Okay? Mary, this application. Yeah, that's right, Mary. You can get the one that I use. There, you can go to dictionary.com or thesaurus.com. Dictionary.com or thesaurus.com. That's the same app. All right. It's a dictionary and a thesaurus in one app. And I really highly recommend it. Okay. Thank you, Boogie. That's what I'm trying to do. Keep you on the right track or get you on the right track. That's right. It's okay. You want to know the right words for saying a little bit of money. You mean, well, I'm still not sure I understand, Karen. Let me think of some other words that you could use. You work at the financial market. Ah, okay. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can help you. I think that this might be what you need. One moment, let me find the right page for you. Try this. Karen? Is that going to cut that off? Let me see. Finance. So Karen, go to this website, but if you see it doesn't have the entire address. It's missing the letter E and a backslash. So you have to add this. Okay? Add that and then go to that site. And that website has a bunch of phrasal verbs about work and money, like bailout, buyout, do without, back out of, hammer out. And then there's some money ones about like to scrape by means to have very little money. Or let's see. To go under means to lose everything. To get by. So there might be some words that you can find there that might help you. All right. There's another one here, too, that looks very similar. You can also try this one. I think, yeah, that's a good start, I think. But if you do a search for this, Karen, do a search for this. This is what I just searched for in Google, and there are a bunch of pages there. There are, at least a dozen pages similar to those with a bunch of idioms and phrasal verbs about money or finance. Okay? Economics. You're welcome. To make a lot of money is what we call raking it in, Karen. Raking it in. If you say, oh, yeah, we're really raking it in. A rake. Do you know what a rake is, Karen? What is a rake? R-A-K-E. This is a rake, Karen. One moment. That's a rake, Karen. So, Karen, raking it in means this. You're raking it in. You're making so much money, you need a rake. Okay? So to rake it in means to make a lot of money. All right? All right. Anyone else have some questions for me? Or if you'd like to raise your hand and come talk to me. Anya says, I want to come to the stage, but my English is not good. Well, Anya, if you never come to the stage, will your English get any better? How about Nazila? Hello, Nazila. Nazila, can you hear me? Hello, Nazila, can you hear me? Nazila. Well, Nazila, I don't know why I can't hear you. Maybe it's a bad connection. Let me try to let you go, and you can try to raise your hand again, and maybe it'll work the next time, okay? So I'll remove you, and you try one more time, okay? Try again. There's Anya. Hello, Anya.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, thank you. What about you?
I'm good. Where are you from, Anya? Because your language says Urdu, right? But your flag,
Yeah,
what flag is that?
yeah. I'm originally from Pakistan, but living in Dominican Republic with
Oh,
my
wow.
family.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
Wow, that's very cool.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Good
Thank
for you.
you.
How long have you been there?
Almost a almost 5 years.
Wow, very cool. Very cool. And do you like
Yeah.
it there?
No.
You don't. It's just difficult. Is it just because it's kind of poor there? It's difficult, right?
Exactly, and
Yeah.
the weather is also super hot. I
Yeah.
can't survive. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure that the Dominican Republic is a lovely place to visit, but I do know it's very hot. It's very, very hot. Yeah, and
Lot,
I like
yeah, here
hot,
is like
but
a lot of. Mm-hmm.
no, go ahead. Go ahead, Anya.
Sorry. Here is like a lots of tourists, right? They're like
Right,
it's a beautiful island,
right.
but for me it's also beautiful, but not for living.
I understand. I understand. I understand. So why did you go there? Just temporarily, or why did you move there?
My husband, sorry, like my family and my husband is here, so that's why I'm here.
Mm, I
And they have
understand.
business here, so
Ah, okay. So,
yeah.
Anya, you said your English is not very good. Anya, I have to tell you, you're crazy.
Yeah,
Okay?
sometimes I am,
Your
but I'm
English is
little bit
fine.
shy.
Yeah, but okay. Here's the thing about that word, shy. I don't like shyness, Anya, and here's the reason why. Because it's weird that shyness has no good positive value, but we let people say, oh, I'm just shy. I'm just shy. When you're kids, I understand. But at some point in time, I feel like everybody needs to learn the lesson that you can't be shy anymore.
Exactly.
You just
Yeah.
can't. And there are certain things in life where you have to speak. So
Yeah.
shyness is not going to help you, right?
I agree with you.
Yeah, and so that's good. Look, you're getting over your shyness, and that's the thing. There's only one way to get over being shy. You have to speak.
Hope so. I will overcome it from my shyness because, yeah, like with my like if somebody speak Urdu or Pashto, I can speak with them. Then, but if like with native speakers like English or Arabic, then I can't. I feel shyness if I forget some words. So how can I will be like give them answer and all this? So all in my mind is just awful questions.
Yeah, but that's okay because Anya, you speak English and you speak Urdu and you probably speak some Spanish too, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
and Pashto as well.
Well, then there you go. So, Anya, it's a little funny when someone's complaining about your language, and most of the time, the person who's complaining only knows one language. So you know five. You don't need to make excuses about your language. You're doing the best you can. All right, and you know five, so relax. It's okay. All right.
Thank you.
And somebody in the audience here said, I have the right to be shy. Sure, you do. You have every right to be shy. There's nothing wrong with that except for one problem. I just want you to give me one example of how shyness is good.
No, it's not. It's not. Actually,
Right.
it's not.
Yeah, there are none. Because listen, sometimes people, they confuse the word shyness with humility or being humble.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying that. I think humility is good. Being humble is good. But
But not-
shyness is two things. Shyness is a combination of fear and low
Exactly.
self-esteem. If you have fear and you have low self-esteem, then you're shy.
I am like this. I have fear and low self-esteem. So I'm that type of shy.
Right.
Not like with the yeah.
So the question is then, if you have low self-esteem, how can you get better self-esteem? How can you feel better about yourself? And that means you need pride, right? How do you get pride? You need to feel pride about something. But how can you get pride? You can't get pride until you accomplish something, right? You need to accomplish something. So there's a relationship here that's very important. If you go do something and accomplish something, then you get pride. Then when you get pride, that gives you a feeling that's positive that makes you want to go do things again. Then you get more pride. Then you do things. Then you get more pride. Then you do things. Then you get more pride. So the secret of pride is you have to go do something. The secret of confidence, to have self-confidence, is you have to go do something, right? Do something to feel good about. I did that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, and the more you do that, then the more you'll feel confident that
Yeah.
because now you have a feeling of I did that thing, so I can do things, right? So now, people, if someone asks me a question, can you do something? If I think I can, I'll say yeah. I mean, I'm not shy about it. I know my abilities, and I feel a sense of I can inside me. I don't feel a sense of I can't. And that's not how I always was. When I was younger, yeah, I did feel worried and feel like I can't do it. But I learned how to play the drums and I became very good at that. And I learned how to cook and I became very good at that. And I learned how to teach and I became very good at that. And each thing that I learned how to do and accomplish gave me a feeling of I can. And then I can go do more.
Yeah, I can agree with you, but like I have the ability, like I'm not saying that I'm very intelligent, yeah, but I am. Like if you show me like something, like I can do it, but in my mind, one thing, oh no, I can't do.
Right.
If I do, it will be get wrong. So
Right.
that's the fear in my heart. But I can do everything. Like I just like adopt very quickly everything.
And I'm sure you can, Anya. But like I said, there's somebody inside of you that you have to fight. And that's why I call all of you language warriors. You have to be a warrior, right? So, for example, Anya, if you're a warrior and you're a fighter, a warrior is a fighter, right? If you're in the army and the general says, today you must go fight, can you say, oh, general, I feel shy today. I don't think I can fight. No. If the general tells you to go fight, you must go fight, right? And learning a language is like that. You're not allowed to be shy. You have to be confident. You have to be able to speak because the most important thing that you need to understand about language is without confidence, you can't have good language.
Exactly.
And so confidence is a huge part of language. So that's why I tell you that there's no shyness in language learning. I'm sorry. There's no shyness in language learning. You're just not allowed to be. Just like if you're in the army. If you're in the army, you're not allowed to be shy. If you're a musician and you're a performer, same thing. I might be scared to be on the stage, but I have to do it. It's my job.
And you know, I'm art teacher in international school, so imagine like in class I'm okay, but if other teachers came to my like come to my class, then I don't know how to explain all this thing to my students, and then all the words and vocabulary is just like not too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. No, no, no. Yeah, that's kind of common. That's sometimes what we call the yips. The yips. It's a weird thing that means like suddenly you're thinking too much and like you're normally really good at something. But
Exactly.
because you're thinking too much, now you're really stupid about everything that you do, right? We call that the yips. I've got the yips means like something is making me nervous and now I can't do the thing I usually do very well. I can't do it at all or I do it terribly. So, but that's kind of common. It's somewhat normal. And
No, but
again,
like
Anya, it just takes practice. So what that means is you
exactly.
just have to do that more. All right. You have to put yourself in that situation more, Anya. So Anya, you're from Pakistan. So you probably
Yeah.
know who Rumi is. The poet Rumi. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Molana, right. That's right. So he's
Yes.
one of my
Maulana
favorites. And I like to quote him often. And there's one quote. Let me find it here. Where are my quotes? There they are. He said this, and I love this quote. He said, let me type it here for you. All your anxiety
I know
is
also one.
because of
Oh,
your desire for harmony. Seek disharmony and you will gain peace. So what that means is your anxiety comes from your feeling that you want everything to be harmonious and nice. But things cannot be harmonious and nice until they start uncomfortable. They always start uncomfortable. But to become comfortable, you must be uncomfortable first. So it's like
exactly.
swimming. I always use the theory of swimming again. The first time you learn to swim and you jump in the water, you look like this. You're like, I'm swimming, right? But then the next time you look like this, and the next time you look like this, and the next time, and each time you look better, and each time you're more confident, right?
Exactly.
So
I agree with you.
that's right. So that's why the only way to gain that confidence is to go through it. you have to make yourself uncomfortable to become comfortable. It's a weird paradox, but it's true. Yeah.
Yeah. One of my friends, she's also from US, and I asked like that, you guys are so lucky that you know English because English is international language. So she told me that no, we are lazy. You guys are more, you know more than like four languages.
Yeah.
We just know English. And
I
I said,
agree.
yeah,
I agree with that. No, you here's what you need to understand about America. Yeah, you're right. We're lucky we speak English, but you don't understand how many people here take that for granted. They don't understand that English is so important around the world, or they don't understand the value that just knowing that English that language has, right? And yeah, most Americans do not speak another language.
exactly. Yeah.
You know,
So
maybe they speak English, but even that, sometimes they don't even speak English very well. so yeah, it's actually kind of hard to find bilingual or multilingual people here. There are not too many of them, unfortunately. Part of the reason why, Anya, is because we don't start learning languages until late. Like, we're not required to learn a language until high school. And the problem
exactly.
is that if you're trying to learn a language when you're 15, you're starting too late. It's too hard at that point. And it would have been much easier to start in the first grade or second grade, you know, when you're 9 or 8, you know, 5, 6, you know, start young, you know. But
Yeah,
and then
I
there's
agree.
another reason why Americans don't know any other languages. We don't need to. So if you live in Switzerland, then you live in the middle of Europe, and there's many countries around you with many different languages. So there's a much greater possibility that you're going to know more than one language. If you live in America, north of us is Canada. Most of them speak English. And south of us is Mexico. And yeah, we do have a lot of Spanish speakers here. A lot. But
Okay.
still,
Oh, sorry, I have like my timeline, like sorry, time limit is
oh,
reached.
no,
So
no,
if
it's
I,
okay.
yeah, no, but it's okay. Like if it's still, but if I like, so, like you will be know that my time limit is reached.
Yeah, that's
But
okay.
we can, yeah, yeah. Sorry.
No,
Okay,
I
so
can
yeah,
invite you up
yeah.
again if it runs out too. So, Anya, let me get you back up. Hold on. See, because I have that power, or I should have that power. Anya, where'd you go? Maybe I can't. Well, that's weird. I guess they kicked her out of the live stream altogether. Well, that's no fun. I'm sorry, Anya. I guess I lost you. Well, okay. See, I don't like that. Zara says my internet connection is not good. Zara, maybe your internet connection is not good. I want to say that might be Ksenia is from Russia, said, I'm 38 and I'm starting to learn Chinese. I started learning Chinese when I was 32. So I think I was around 32 or 33. So I started not too long before you. Okay. What's the opposite expression of easy ice, please, when I order iced coffee? You could say you could say extra ice. You could say heavy on the ice. You could say lots of ice, extra ice. Okay, any of those. Yeah, I wouldn't say hard, but maybe heavy. Heavy ice or extra ice. You're a Spanish teacher. I have students from the United States who told me it is necessary to learn Spanish. Well, like I said, Sugar Cube, there are a lot of Spanish speakers here. So knowing even a little bit of Spanish is really useful, I think. You know? Are phonetic symbols important for learning English? Xiao Yi, I cannot read them. I don't know them. I have no idea what they mean. So my answer is no. To be honest, I think that phonetic symbols are too difficult and overthinking way too much for most people. Phonetic symbols, that's more like learning linguistics. It's too much thinking. I think phonetics is kind of like if you're trying to walk, you don't think about every muscle that you move each time you move it. You just walk. If you're thinking about phonetics, that's like trying to think about each muscle you use when you're walking. No. Don't need it. No. Sorry. Akito, I will be 48 soon. Yeah. What's the benefit of learning Chinese? Well, one benefit is very simple. I can speak Chinese. Another benefit is that lots of people say Chinese is hard. So if I can learn that, then that means I can learn other hard things. So learning Chinese gives me the confidence to feel like I can learn whatever. What should you call your teacher, professor, or director, or teacher? That depends on them. You can ask them. Okay? So some people might prefer the term teacher. Some people might prefer the term professor. Some people might prefer the term director. Or some people might prefer that you use their name. Or just Mr. or Mrs. So in that case, Xiao, you should just ask them. Okay? Just ask them. Is 50 late for learning a language? No. There is no such thing as too late to learn. If you're dead, it's too late to learn. If you're dead. Have I ever lived in a foreign country? Yes. I lived in Taiwan for 4 years. Kirsten says, now you can do and learn whatever you want. Well, yeah, that's kind of what I mean. I like to do challenging things because if I can do that, then it gives me a feeling that, well, if I can learn Chinese, then yeah, I think I can learn German or French or whatever. Or I can learn another skill, you know? It gives me confidence. What's the difference of compare to and compare with? Mona, sometimes nothing. Let me think about that for just one moment. So compare with is used when we're talking about similar things. So if two things are the same or similar, then you use with. If things are different, then you use to. Okay? That's the only difference. How do you express water falling from a tap? We say turn on the faucet. Turn on the faucet means to open the faucet handle so that the water comes out. Thank you, Macarena. Hey, Macarena. Can I understand everything in Chinese? No. But you can't understand everything in Chinese either. I can't understand everything in English. There are some words in English that I don't know. Or there are some things that are so complicated in English that I would not understand. Okay, if you talked about advanced mathematics, I would not understand in English. Okay? Same thing in Chinese. There are things that you don't know how to talk about in Chinese. Yes, both are correct, Mona, but one is to talk about similar things and one is to talk about different things. Okay? All right. Would anyone like to come talk to me? Raise your hand if you want to come talk to me. How about Monica? Monica, you want to come talk to me? Or Isabella? Hello, Isabella.
Hello, Teacher Mark.
How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
I'm pretty good. How can I help you today?
I just want to come on stage and say thank you to you.
Oh, well,
I'm
okay.
I'm really appreciate you because, maybe last year I was in the chat of your Zoom and I raised my hand, but I canceled I canceled my request, but you encouraged me a lot.
Well, I'm glad. Okay, and
Yeah, that's really impressed me.
well, thank you, and I'm glad that it helped you.
Yeah, this is my second time to be on the stage and chat with you. I'm nervous.
Relax,不担心. It's just, yeah, everyone, again, you have to try. If you try, then it'll get easier. But if you don't try, it never gets easier. So she's trying. She raised her hand. She felt better. Now she raised her hand again. Now she'll have more confidence to do it the next time, right?
I don't know, maybe.
I think you will, Isabella.
Yeah, at that time, I canceled my request and I said, sorry, Teacher Mark, my English is not so good, is not good enough. I'm afraid of on the stage and chat with you, especially chat with later speakers.
But you're
And
doing
you
fine.
really, but you really encouraged me a lot. You said it's okay if you can't speak English, I can speak Chinese with you.
我会. But listen, confidence, everybody, that's so important to language learning. And that's why I tell everybody you just can't be shy. I'm sorry. I know many people get mad at me. They get angry when I tell them you're not allowed to be shy. I'm sorry, but you just can't. But Isabella, you are conquering your fear. You're conquering your fear. To conquer means to win, to attack and win. And you're attacking it and you're winning. So that's good. You're gaining confidence.
But last year I came on another Zoom of another live streamers, and I couldn't speak English well, at that time, and sometimes I couldn't understand what the live streamers said, and some people in the chat said some words, some sentence not so good to me.
Well, Isabella, that's one thing that I don't tolerate here. I don't allow people to be negative here. So if I see anybody who's not positive in my live stream, then I might kick them out. So sometimes I don't let anyone here. If you're not going to be positive and support everyone, then you're not allowed to be here. So this is a supportive environment. You have to support everyone or you can't be here. That's how it is. If you want to learn, learning is something that requires positivity, not negativity. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm glad that you feel like it's more comfortable here on my live stream because I won't let somebody say bad things about you.
It's okay. It's okay. I don't mind. And even I can't speak English well, but I'm still trying. I'm still trying to keep learning. So I never give up.
加油，手动生巧。
谢谢 Teacher Mark.
No problem. Yeah. All right. Well, Isabella, do you have anything else you want to ask me about today, or did you just want to say thank you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's okay.
I do have a lot
Okay.
of questions.
Okay.
but,
Well, then go ahead. Ask me.
How to say it? Yeah, I just want to express how I like you.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Isabella. That means a
Yeah.
lot to me. Thank you.
Yeah, I know you since let me think, since July last year, and I watch your live stream almost every day and every night. Every night I listen to your live stream and fall to sleep.
Wow.
Fall asleep.
Sometimes I feel really weird when people say that because, like, I don't know what to think. Like, because I'm not always happy every day, and so I don't know when people are watching me, I wonder, it's weird because now I think somebody is watching me and they think, oh, Teacher Mark wasn't very happy today. It's like, wow. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird feeling, but it's a positive feeling. It's just weird. Isabella, I love teaching and I love doing what I do, but I do always feel, I feel awkward when people give me compliments. When people tell me you're the best or you're amazing, I just feel awkward. It makes me feel uncomfortable, really.
Why?
Well, because I feel happy that they like my teaching. I feel happy that it was helpful. But I also feel like I'm still learning. I'm just a student. So it's weird. I don't take compliments well because I feel like I'm still just a student who's learning. So I'm always happy when people think my advice is good or useful. But I always feel like even though I'm the teacher, I'm a student. And so it feels uncomfortable to get so many compliments.
But you are really how to say? Yeah, I think you are really the best on Hello Talk. Because really, I really think so. Think that we like you. It's not only because we just can learn something from you. We can learn English from you with you, but also because your great personality.
Wow. You guys are too much today. No. It's good. Thank you, Isabella. Like, I'll just tell you guys that I had my week was a difficult week emotionally. I had a very emotionally difficult week. And I love what I'm doing, but what I'm doing right now is really difficult. It's very stressful every day. It's what I'm doing. I love it, but it's extremely stressful. I have never been so stressed out in my life. So when I hear if anyone tells me that what I'm doing is helping and what I'm doing is really great, it makes me feel better because it is really hard. What I'm doing is really hard. So I appreciate it. If somebody enjoys what I'm doing and it's helping them, that makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm not wasting my time. So
Yeah,
thank you.
I think you have helped many people.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you, Isabella.
Yeah, I do sometimes. Yeah, I have seen you lose your temper maybe 2 or 3 times. But
Yeah.
you know, yeah, we can understand because some people they are not polite and they are not friendly, even rude.
Yeah, I mean, I try to be as nice as I can. I really do. I try, but I do have a line. There's, you know what it is, Isabella? It's because I have so much respect for my teachers, the teachers who were so important to me. I have so much respect for them, and I have learned to have a lot of respect for the process of learning and the process of teaching. And so one thing that I don't have a lot of patience for is I don't have a lot of patience for any lazy learners. If you're a lazy learner, I don't have patience for you. If you want me to just treat you like a baby, I don't have patience for that. So sometimes people, they ask me questions and I feel like they just want a simple, easy answer and they don't want to work hard. And they think it's easy to do that, but you can't. And that sometimes makes me frustrated because I feel like they just don't understand the process of learning and that you have to work hard if you want to learn something. So
Yeah, yeah.
thank you, Isabella.
Yeah, I agree with you. My English also told the same thing to us, and I'm learning a book called New Concept English Book 3, and this book is really hard for me to learn. And my English teacher told us if you want to learn New Concept Book 3, you have to compare something before taking his class.
That's an interesting way to put it. Yeah. But Isabella, another thing that I like to tell people is if you're a musician, when you practice, professional musicians, when we practice, it doesn't sound good. Why? If we're professionals, then why doesn't it sound good when we practice? Do you know?
I think in the beginning, um, the musician don't know how to say can't do that well.
Well, that's a good answer, but really what it is it's one simple thing. Isabella, a professional musician, we know that if we're going to get better, we have to challenge ourselves. We have to push ourselves to do the things that are difficult. So, when a musician practices, they're not practicing the things that they do well. They're practicing the things that they don't do well. So, it's not going to sound good. They're trying to progress. And if you can't... You cannot make progress, everybody, if you're not willing to make mistakes. And so when you hear a professional musician practice, they will make many, many mistakes because they're trying to push themselves. That's the point. If you never make mistakes, you aren't trying hard enough. You're not pushing yourself enough. Okay, so
Yeah.
think about that. Push yourself harder. Make mistakes more, because the more mistakes you make, the more progress you will make.
Yeah, I couldn't more agree with you. In the book I just mentioned it, New Concept English Book 3 is really difficult for me. Every day I told myself I have to learn at least one article, and I have to read them again and again. almost 20 times per 20 times for each article. And 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 there are over 20 or sometimes over 30 new vocabulary. I don't know. I have to learn. I have to search it online by myself.
Well, I think you're doing well, Isabella, and that's important that you're the self part. That's the important thing. So, some people love my teaching and some people don't. The people who love my teaching, they understand that learning is your job. No one can really help you. You have to do it yourself. So again, teachers are not there to do it for you. They're there to guide you. They are there only to guide you. So you are supposed to do it yourself. And then the guide is just there to help you if you have any questions or you need any extra help, right? And so some people, I think they just want me to just give them the answer, and I don't do that.
Yeah, my English teacher also has a lot of students and a lot of different kinds of students, and some people have learned English with him for 2 years, and they said the course we bought is a lot worth our money, and it's even some people said it's a waste of money.
Wow.
But yeah. But I think my English teacher is really. I think he is perfect. He is really popular and famous in China, and yeah, I think it's very worth. Very worth the money.
Well,
I don't
good.
I don't agree with him.
Well,
Because
good.
it depends. Yeah, it depends different people.
That's
and
right.
people.
That's true. Look, some people definitely, they won't like my learning or my teaching, and that's okay. That's okay. If you don't like my style, that's okay. You don't have to. You can choose other styles. It's kind of like music, some people like rock music, some people like jazz music, some people like classical music. You can like whatever you want to like. Whatever works for you, that's fine. Now, but I like all those musics. So I like all the different styles of learning, and I use every one. Any time I need a style of learning, I use whatever works for me. Okay, but Isabella, your language, I think you sound really good now. You sound very confident, which is so important.
Oh, thanks, Teacher Mark.
You're welcome.
Also, Teacher Mark, I have a question. But this question is not about learning.
Okay.
It's about friendship.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a friend. I have a friend on Holotalk, and I met him. I have known him for 1 month, 1 or 2 months, and he is really talkative and outgoing, and he can communicate with any kind of person. How to say it? I really enjoy talking with him, and I really treat him to my friend. But one day, he sent me some information, some messages, and there is a mistake, and I correct him, but he got angry with me.
Yeah. And he's a native speaker?
No, he is Chinese.
Ah, right. Yeah. Okay. Well, Isabella, there are just some people in life who don't want to be corrected, right? So, Isabella, sometimes when I'm teaching, the hardest students for me are the ones that are older adults, and maybe they've been speaking English for many, many years, but maybe they've been making mistakes for many, many, many years. So they'll come to my class and they have lots of confidence because they've been using their English for a long time. But unfortunately, they've been using kind of bad English for a long, long time. And then when you correct them, they get really mad because they feel like, well, no, I've been speaking English for 10 years or 20 years and I know more than you. But, speaking English wrong for 20 years is still speaking English wrong. So, yeah. In those cases, Isabella, you just have to forget about them. You know, that means that he. Well, let me ask you, Isabella, why do you think he got mad that you corrected him?
Because he said he hates people to correct him, and he hates say some people is eager to correct others' mistakes.
Okay, so Isabella, now this is why I think sometimes I have a problem with Chinese face culture, because that's what that is. Sometimes in China, everybody, if you don't know this, there's something called face culture. And face culture means in English, we call it saving face. And saving face means you shouldn't say anything in public that might embarrass someone else. Right? And so in China, this concept of face culture is pretty important. But I gotta say, whoops. Oh, sorry, Isabella. One moment. Hold on. Let me get my program
it's okay.
back up. So, Isabella, this is one of those situations where I know that it's part of Chinese culture, but I don't think it's very valuable in China or here, because if you're an adult, you need to learn how to grow up. And that means you have to admit when you're wrong. Adults have to admit when they're wrong. And if you're an adult man or woman and someone makes a correction and you get upset, that's so childish. What's wrong with you? Because, Isabella, this is important. Every bad feeling that you have is trying to teach you a lesson. Every bad feeling you have. So if you feel angry, there's a lesson there. You're supposed to learn something about why you got angry. If you're embarrassed, there's a lesson there about why you got embarrassed, and you're supposed to learn it. But when you have this whole idea of like, well, you're not supposed to embarrass anybody, so don't correct him. How is that a good thing? Why? No, I'm sorry, but if you are wrong, I don't care how old you are, I'm going to tell you you're wrong. Okay? I don't care how old you are. I don't care what job you have. Wrong is wrong. And in my opinion, the older you are, the more you should be able to accept it, not make it more difficult, right? So if someone corrects me, I hope that I can be humble enough to say, you're right. I'm sorry. I was wrong. And it does happen to me occasionally here. Once in a while when I'm teaching, maybe I'll teach someone something and then I'll find out, wait, no, I wasn't right. That wasn't right. And I'll say, oh, look, I was wrong. I was wrong. That's maturity. Okay? If you can't admit when you're wrong, I don't know what to say other than grow up. Okay? So Isabella, you're always going to run into some people like that, especially in China, because again, it's just part of the culture. Okay? For instance, Isabella, when I first got to Taiwan and I worked at this little bushiban, a little cram school, and I first got there, I didn't know anything about face culture yet. I didn't know about face culture. And I walked into my boss's office in the first week. I was there for 1 week. And I walked in and I told her, no, this is wrong and this is wrong and this is, you can't do this and this is right and no, and we can't, we got, and she was like really, really not happy. You know, she was very, very unhappy. And this is how I learned about face culture. I learned because I made the mistake of being that honest. But then we had a talk about it. We talked. I talked to her and she talked to me and we discussed it. And I said, look, you need to understand, I'm not trying to insult you. I know you're trying to do the best job you can, and you did the best you could. But you hired me because you want it to be better. And I'm going to tell you how, but you have to have the maturity to accept that. Okay? And once she realized that I'm just trying to help, and I really do want things to be better there, that this is not about ego. It's not about ego. It's about making it better. But if you want things to get better, then you have to get rid of your ego. And your ego is the thing that is hurt when someone corrects you. Okay?
But before that, I never corrected anyone. I just corrected him once.
Right.
Once.
And Isabella, like I said, sometimes there's just some people who just don't take corrections well, and they don't like to be corrected, period. They're just not very humble that way. Okay?
Yeah, I just told him, and if I don't care you, because I see you as one of my friends, so if I don't care you, who cares what mistake you made?
Right, exactly, right, yeah. Well, again, Isabella, some people have to learn that lesson the hard way, that you have to grow up. You have to grow up, and part of growing up is hearing that you're wrong sometimes. If you're afraid to tell people they're wrong, that cannot be good. There's nothing good about that. So somebody does something totally wrong, and okay, let's let this guy make a bridge. He's going to build a bridge, and I can see he's making a terrible mistake, and that's dangerous, and the bridge is going to collapse. But I don't want to correct him because I wouldn't want to embarrass him. No, you correct him, because otherwise, if you don't correct him, people might die. Okay, so don't worry about it. If people can't take correction, just recognize sometimes maybe you shouldn't bother. If they can't take their help, if they don't want the help, don't give it to them.
Yeah, but I really get hurt because another occasion, and he asked me some personal questions like how old is your son? I told him, and after then I asked him the same question, how old is your son? And he just said, why you ask me this question? It's my privacy.
奇怪.
Yeah, I really get hurt.
我觉得他有一点奇怪，所以我觉得不是。
Because he, I think it's just a common question, and also he asked me the same question, why I couldn't ask him.
Yeah, well, Isabella, it sounds like maybe, no offense to your friend, but it sounds like your friend, he needs to grow up a bit. I'm sorry.
He is 45. He's much older than me.
Well, yes, Isabella, but that's the thing about age. Age has nothing to do with maturity. Okay? I know people who are 80 years old, but they're not mature. And I know people who are 18 who are very mature. Okay? So age is not the same as maturity. Okay? So, yeah, if he's 45, he should know better. He should know better. Yeah. That's, like I said, that's part of... Isabella, for me, looking inside and understanding your faults is such an important part of my entire life. Everything I've done as a human being is me looking at how I'm wrong and trying to be better. And I'm not always perfect, and I don't always do right, but I always try to look at how I can be better. So when I see someone like that, I feel like yeah, I don't know how to help someone like that because their ego is getting in the way. They're so fragile. Fragile. You guys know that word? Fragile means easily broken. They're so easily broken. And so that's what you should ask him. If he gets mad at you again, next time ask him, why are you so fragile?
I learned a new word from you
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah, you could say, you're 45. Why are you so fragile? You know, he might not like that. He's not going to like that, but that's if you want to challenge him, then that's what you can say.
No, I'm not going to talk with him again. Never anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. But Isabella, sometimes that's the best thing. Walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isabella, sometimes if you are on a path of growing up and you are on a path of always trying to make yourself better, I think it's important to look around you and see the other people that are around you. Are they also on a path and are they also trying to make themselves better? If they're not, maybe you don't need them in your life.
Yeah, I also met some other friends, and they're so kind. They are so friendly.
Well, then spend more time with them.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well, good. Isabella, do you have anything else that you'd like to ask me about today?
No, Teacher Mark. I'm really grateful for you.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for coming on stage again to talk with me.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, well, take care.
But I'm so nervous.
No, you're fine. You did great, Isabella. You did great. Okay? So I'll see you next time, okay, Isabella?
Okay, thank you,
Okay.
Teacher Mark.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Did I miss anything in the comments? I'm sorry. Let me go check. Yeah, Amanda says right. This is the point, Amanda. Right there is the point. We teach our children to admit when they're wrong. So why shouldn't adults do the same thing? Right? Flora says, I always want to have someone correcting my mistakes. Good for you, Flora. That's a sign of maturity. That's a sign of maturity. Abdo says, I had a big debate about the word advice the other day. Someone said we can say advices. So Abdo, the word advices, in American English, we almost never use a plural form of the word advice. So if I say, I like your advice, that could be singular or plural. Okay? But there are a few cases where you could say, maybe advices. It usually means different types of advice, right? So, or different advices from different people. So if I say, I got a lot of advice, or I got a lot of different advices, I think that one implies a lot of general advice, but one implies a lot of different kinds of advice. So there are a couple of situations where you could use a plural form of advices, but in American English, not very often. And yeah, if they can't admit, then they can't admit, hey, what are you going to do? Right? Hello, Parya. But, since we're talking about correcting mistakes, I think I should make a point that's very important as a teacher. I don't correct everyone about everything. one of the most important lessons that you can learn as a teacher is to not correct everything. If you correct everything, then you never give someone an opportunity to figure it out for themselves. So there are times when I see one of my students said something wrong or did something wrong or wrote something wrong, but I won't correct them. I will wait and I will let them find the mistake for themselves. And this is important, if you correct every little mistake someone makes, they will feel like they want to give up. They'll feel like they want to quit because you're just beating them down with mistakes. So, I don't correct all the mistakes all the time. I correct the important mistakes that I feel like are important at that moment. And then I know that you have other mistakes, but we can work on those later. You know? And last thing, when you don't say something to a student, you're teaching them that you have confidence in them. If you're always telling them what they're doing wrong, you're also telling them that you don't have confidence in them. But if you don't say anything and you just let them try, that gives them a feeling that they can do it. Okay? So if you always correct them and you always tell them how, you're teaching them that you don't have confidence in them. So I don't always tell my students what to do or how to do it on purpose, because I want to give them the confidence to do it themselves. Okay? Wow, Abdo, impressive, very impressive, my friend. Good for you. You're welcome, Isabella. Can a paraphrasing tool help to learn English? Neil, Neil, when people ask me what is the best way to learn English, every way is the best way. So, Neil, I don't even know what a paraphrasing tool is, but I can imagine what that is and how it might be useful for learning. So, Neil, the tools you use for learning are helpful if you know how to be creatively if you know how to be a good creative learner. Okay, so paraphrasing tools could be useful. Anything could be useful if you can find creative ways to use it. So it's not really about the tool, it's about you, the user of the tool. Can you use this tool creatively or not? Okay? Thank you, Ines. And yes, many pieces of advice. That's right. That's right. You're right. Thank you, Dawei. Shubham, there is no way for me to answer that question. If you can tell me how to speak Hindi fluently in 5 minutes, then I can tell you how to speak English fluently in 5 minutes. Neil, I think I know what you mean now. And yeah, Neil, things like AI tools like ChatGPT or Quillbot or whatever, yeah, they can be really useful for you to see how to fix your mistakes and what's right and what's wrong. So sure, those can be useful, yeah. Flora says, what will happen if they keep making mistakes, making a lot of mistakes even when you give them advice? What will happen when they keep making mistakes, even if I give them advice? Well, at some point, Flora, maybe you stop giving them advice if they're not learning from that advice. And sometimes you just have to wait. Sometimes a student is like a flower. Sometimes one flower blooms one day and the other flower blooms next week. You just have to wait for the flower to bloom. You can't make it happen any faster. So, I have some students who they don't understand. They don't understand. They don't understand. But then one day, they understand. It's like a flower. It's finally opened. Okay? All right. Let me catch up with the comments here. How do I do it myself? Fede, what are you asking? How do I do what myself, Fede? Or maybe you're talking to them about Hindi and learning a language? If you're asking me about, how to learn a language, look, everybody, no. There are books written about how to learn a language. If someone wrote a book about it, then I can't answer the question in one answer. Okay? That's the thing. How can I learn English? How can I be rich? I don't know, man. Abdo, I would really love to bring you up to speak, but maybe we can do it tomorrow. I'm kind of hungry and tired. I think I need to take a break here soon. But I would like to talk to you if you'd be willing to come and talk to me tomorrow, if that's okay. Alexa wants to know about the best technique to introduce and revise new vocabulary at an English lesson. Alexa, there are many ways to do vocabulary. One way to do vocabulary is by topic and by level, right? So you can choose a topic like, let's talk about food, right? And there are basic levels of food words, and there are intermediate levels of food words, and there are advanced level of food words, right? So you could write down by topic. You could also do by root, right? So you can learn all the words that have sub, right? Like submarine and subway and substrate and substitute, right? All the words that have sub in them, right? So the secret, Alexa, to learning vocabulary is you must have a pattern. You must have a pattern, okay? Let's see. Tanya, how to improve your listening. Sometimes I don't understand what people say. Tanya, sometimes you don't need to improve your listening. Sometimes you need to listen to someone who speaks better. So, Tanya, let me ask you a question. Can you understand the words I'm saying out of my mouth right now? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I don't think you understand what I'm saying. You didn't understand what I'm saying because I don't talk well. So, sometimes it's not that you have to change your ears. You have to change who you're listening to. Find someone who speaks well and listen to them. Okay? Thank you, Ibrahim, for the gifts. Have I mastered any foreign languages? 大卫，我会说中文。 I wouldn't say mastered. No. 我会说 master. 谁是 Nobody is really a master. Laura says, what do you do if one of your students says they get bored in your class? It happened to me. Yeah, it's happened to me too, Laura. It's not always your fault. It might be. You have to be willing to admit if you are boring, then try to do better. But you can't be a circus monkey. Your job is to teach. Your job is not to go, hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal. You're not supposed to sing and dance. You're supposed to teach. Now, there's a balance. You need to do a little bit of entertainment with your education, but it shouldn't be more entertainment than education. Okay? And if they get bored in your class, then maybe talk to them. Take them after class and talk to them. And don't be mean. Just ask them seriously, say, okay, look, I want to try to understand how you're feeling. Can you tell me more? Why do you feel so bored about this class? Maybe you just don't like this subject, or maybe, it's really difficult for you, and because it's difficult for you, you don't enjoy it as much, right? Try to find out more about what they're feeling. But Laura, sometimes they're just being a little jerk. If they're a teenager, there's a very good possibility that maybe they're just being a little jerk and you need to just forget about it. They'll grow up. But that's why I don't teach teenagers. Neil, can I give you advice to improve your writing? Yeah, Neil, the best advice I can give you to improve your writing is write as much as you can. So the first thing you should do is have a daily journal. Write a daily journal every day. Write a daily journal about what you feel, what you did, how you look, what you think, any ideas you have, anything that's interesting or not interesting. Write it down, okay? Because a daily journal is basically a book of useful language for your life. Because that's what you're writing about, your life. So, number one, start doing a daily journal, okay? Laura, it could be something wrong with your approach. It could be that they don't connect, or it could be that they're just a little jerk. So don't think too much about it. But I would suggest trying to see if you can make a connection and talk with them and find out more. Okay? Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Isabella. Okay, so listen, everybody. Take care, Kung. Let me see something here. I'm a rookie? Yeah, okay, I'm a rookie. Oh, okay, it's a small child. If it's a small child, Laura, then try to talk to him. Try to talk to him. Yeah. Maybe they have a learning disability. Maybe they have attention deficit disorder or, dyslexia. There are a lot of reasons why children sometimes might not enjoy learning, but it's not your fault. It might be something about them. I had that problem when I was a student. Payush says, I want to talk to you. 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 Payush, I want a Ferrari. 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 Wait a minute. No Ferrari. What happened? I thought if I say it a lot, it'll happen. Payush, I know you want to talk to me, but today I can't. Okay? Everybody, it's 1:03 and it's time for me to take a break and go get some lunch. But before I go, I do want to remind you to please make sure you hit the follow button. And please try to share. If you know anybody who you think would like my live stream, tell them about it. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers, classmates. Okay? And I will be back here tomorrow. I have about 48,000 followers now, which is awesome, but I'm trying to hit 50,000. So please like and share and all that good stuff. Okay? But yeah, today was really crazy. 2 really touching live streams. Wow. I really appreciate it, everybody. Thank you for buoying my spirits. That's a good one you can learn. To buoy someone's spirits. To buoy means to support or lift their spirits. So thank you for doing that, everybody. I appreciate that. It came at a good moment for me. So once again, everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for participating. Have a good morning. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening wherever you are in the world. And don't forget to be a language warrior. All right, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.